for a couple minutes. We'll spend a couple minutes just again coming into our body. I know this looks kind of ridiculous with my legs, but have to wear a compression sock. Okay, so we're just going to let our toes face forward, feel our spine lengthening, and just start to take full deep breaths. So really letting the shoulders relax and lengthening the spine. We're going to lift all of our toes as we breathe and spread them back down. And then we'll go ahead and float our heels up as we inhale. If you want, you can bring your arms with it and float them back down on your exhale. So just using this a few breaths to sort of start to balance and breathe deeply, right? So inhaling as we lift, exhaling as we lower. Nice full breath. And exhale down. One more time. Inhale, lift up, see if you can stay a little bit longer. And exhale to float back down. And then go ahead and lift your right leg and stretch your left arm up. And then bring those back down and lift your left leg and stretch your right arm up. I'll try that side and bring it down. So just do that a few times, like little side stretch and balancing here, side to side. As we breathe. We can kind of take it into a little bit of a twist, right? By following, following that arm back. I can't balance very well on my right side, but I'm really trying. Okay, so just kind of twisting and lifting that opposite leg to that arm that's forward, right? Adding a little bit of rotation. And then bringing both feet under us, both arms down. Go ahead and just circle the hips nice and big and let the hips go, let the joints go, right? And the other direction. Feel yourself loosen up a bit. And then coming to a stillness, bring your hands on top of your thighs with a little bend in your legs. And we're just going to move our spine a bit. So as we exhale, we're going to press against our legs to round our back, tucking the tailbone under. So just take a little round, really mostly in the low back, right? And then arching as you inhale, lifting your tailbone, lifting your chest. And then again, rounding as you exhale. And arching as you it's a little movement of our spine as we breathe. Standing cat-cow. And one more time. And then when you round, go ahead and let yourself stack back up to the top. Come to the end of the mat if you're using a mat, where you want to be. We're going to roll down. So inhaling here, letting everything relax, letting the head go, shoulders, the pelvis as we come all the way down. And hang, let your knees do a little bend and straighten. Maybe you can just let your head release, your neck release. And then bending one knee and then the other so we can kind of let our hips move a bit. Coming to center, we'll walk our hands out. That hike down dog with our fingers spread wide. lifting the tailbone. And then however that feels good to you to maybe let your body move around as you stretch your heels down, move around a bit, or whatever feels good to you, right? Releasing the neck and the head, getting some blood to our brain. A nice stretch in the back body, the back of the legs. And then we might take our hands a little farther out, lower down a bit more, just however far your body wants to come down toward that plank. Deep breath. And then you can either lower yourself down slowly for a little more challenge or bring your knees down to the mat. Come around to sitting, and we'll bring ourselves onto our back. So find your feet lined up with your sits bones here. Relax your body. Take a nice deep breath. And exhale. Let everything relax. Of course, we're going to go into bridge, but I want you to take a relaxing breath first. Good. And then next exhale, letting our tailbone curl upward, peel off the mat into a bridge. So adjusting our feet, letting our shoulders and neck relax here in our bridge. Just go ahead and press your hips up and breathe for a moment. Good. Next exhale, we can melt the spine down one vertebra at a time, so hips come down last. Good. And then once your hips come down, relax everything. You might step your feet a little bit closer together, but not too much, not completely together, just slightly. And then what we'll do is we'll just let our left knee drop open to the side and relax. So you feel that opening on that side of your hip. And then lift that left knee up and let your right knee drop open to the right side. And lift back to the top. Then we'll put that together with the bridge. So you're going to inhale, open your left knee out to the side. On the exhale, press your hips up, however high they go. On our inhale, we lift our left knee back to the top and articulate the spine down on our exhale. So some nice hip opening bridges. Inhale, the right knee falls open. Exhale, press up. Inhale to lift that right knee back up and articulate down on your exhale. And again, letting the left knee open as you inhale. Exhale, press the hips up. Think of your hip bone pulling that left knee back to the top and articulate the spine back down. And then right knee drops open. Exhale up. Again, as if your hip bone, we're lifting that right knee back up to the top and articulate your spine back down. Let's do two more. Inhale, the left knee opens. Exhale, press up. Inhale to lift and articulate back down. One more to the right side. Exhale, press up. Inhale, lift that hip to lift the knee. And exhale, articulate down. And then when your hips come all the way down, go ahead and open both knees apart and just let them relax here. So we feel our hips just totally let go to that little opening. And then if you like, you can just float your hips off the ground. So just kind of press them up and a little bit off the ground. Take a breath here. And then we'll lower the hips back down and let your knees relax, noticing that your hips might feel a little bit more open. And then we'll lift the knees up and just let them sway side to side a couple of times. So just take your knees over to one side and back up, over to the other side and up. We got loosened up our hips a bit, side to side. And then when you lift your knees back to the top, stack your right leg on top of your left leg. Go ahead and slide your arms out from your shoulders or wherever you want them. And try to stack your knees on top of each other, swaying the legs over to the left, keeping our shoulders on the ground, just letting the legs relax here. So we feel that stretch through our right hip and side. And just breathe. And then on our next exhale, see if we can let our legs be totally heavy and draw them back up using our breath and our obliques. And then as we inhale, they're going to sway over to the left again. Let them be totally heavy. Try to draw them back up with your rib cage, right? Good. And again, let them sway over, feel that stretch. And exhale back. Good. One more time. Really breathe fully here. So using our breath to exhale up. And then once we come to the top, let them sway over to the right and just let that hips flexor, front of your hip stretch happen there, right? Just relax your legs here. And we'll lift the legs up and uncross them, stacking left leg on top. Let your legs sway over to the right and relax. So just be heavy, shoulders all the way on the ground. Love it. Okay, next exhale. Let your legs be super heavy. Draw them back up with your breath. Good. And keep going. Inhaling over to the right. And let them totally relax to exhale back. Really feel your rib cage pulling your knees back up. Inhale to the side. And exhale up. One more time. Deep breath. And using exhale, lift up. And then when we come to the top, we keep swaying over to the left. Let the legs relax. That little stretch in the front of our right hip. Right side and front of our hip. And the waist. You should feel that in your waist. Good. And then exhale back to the top. And we're going to take hold of our left knee. So bring your arms into it. Grab hold of that knee underneath your knee. Stretch it in. Stretch your right leg down the mat. Just curl up to that knee. Right? So bring your head to knee. Stretch the legs away from each other. Breathe. Now we'll lie our head back down. And draw your right leg in, grab hold and stretch that knee in and curl up. So curl up head to knees. We stretch our legs away from each other. Nice big stretch here. And then lie your head and shoulders back down. Go ahead and slide your left knee back in. So we're going to grab a hold of our left leg, curl up again. And we might just want to keep our head up for a few single leg stretches. So you're going to bring your right knee in, stretch that knee in as you stretch your left leg long, and then switch. So really emphasizing that stretching of the legs away from each other, right? You can have your head on the ground if you prefer. Let's see if you can really stretch those legs. Good. And then we're going to bring both knees in. Lay your head down. If it's up, relax. And we're going to bring our hands behind our head. So clasping our hands here, just have your legs up like that. And we're going to inhale as we exhale, curl up and try to bring your knees towards your head towards your knees. Really support your head. Feel your tailbone lift off the ground. And then lie back down and relax. Good, nice deep breath. Again, exhaling up into that. Try to curl yourself into a ball, bringing knees toward head toward knees. Lift the tailbone off the mat. And then relax back down. Let's do one more. Exhale up. Again, curling. Bringing tailbone upward. Knees toward head. Stay there. And relax back down. Go ahead and put feet on the mat. And we're going to stretch our legs all the way out. Stretch your arms over your head and just do a great big full body stretch, flexing our feet, reaching through one arm and leg and then the other. So nice big stretch. Reach, feeling our shoulders and our hips shifting up and down, right, as we reach. And then relax everything. Go ahead and open your arms and your legs a little bit wider so you feel like a big X on the ground. Flex the feet. Take one hand over to the other arm and reach across with that hand. So we have the spiraling stretch. So we're reaching as far as we can. And then come back onto your back and take it over to the other side. Reach. Good. And then coming back onto your back, and you're going to bring your legs together and draw your right leg up to the ceiling and grab hold behind your leg wherever you can hold on. So you're going to feel that stretch in the back of our leg. Curl your head up towards your knee. Maybe you can walk your hands a little farther down the leg. We're going to give this leg a stretch. Move your foot, kind of flex and point, circle your ankle. I'm massaging mine. Whatever feels good to you. Just give it a nice stretch in the ankle and foot, a little movement. Good. We're going to lie our head back down on the mat. Slide your left foot along the ground. Bring your left leg up. Stretch your right leg down. Grab on wherever you can. Curl up. Give this leg a good stretch. So we want to move our foot and give our leg a nice stretch. Try to get your right leg all the way on the ground. So it's just kind of reach through that leg. Move the foot. Lay your head back down. And then we'll keep our head on the mat and we'll just do a slow kind of bicycle stretch. So you're going to draw your right knee in, straighten your right leg as you stretch your left leg down. And then give it a nice big stretch. And then draw your left leg back up. Stretch your right leg down. Give it a good stretch. Good. So kind of a slow bicycle stretch here, alternating. So some people will need more stretch than other people, but whatever amount of stretch you need, you feel pretty stretched out. You're going to clasp our hands behind our head and lift our head and shoulders a little bit, and we're going to bicycle. So you're going to bring that, come into the splits, and then draw the bottom knee up, straighten that leg, top leg goes down. So nice big bicycle movement. But feel free to stretch as long as you need to, or if you prefer just to have your hands on your legs, you can do that. Right? Breathe. Good. And then we're going to reverse our bicycle. So then the top leg comes up, the bottom leg comes up as the top leg bends and slides back down the mat, right? So reversing the bicycle. See if you can really catch the splits right there before you bend, if possible. If that's not possible, it's okay, right? You can just let your knees bend as they need to. Backwards is a little bit more challenging, right? And then whatever leg is up, bring your other leg up, lie down. Good. And take your hands to your legs, relax your body for a moment, rock around a little bit. Your body relax. And then we'll bring our legs straight again, and we're just going to open them into a straddle, right? Legs in the air, and we're just kind of holding on wherever you want. Like if you like to hold on to the inside of the legs, if you like to support on the outside of your legs, it's whatever feels good to you. Just take a little straddle stretch here. And breathe. And then go ahead and bring those legs together. You can use your hands to lift them back up. And then bend your knees. Keep your legs together. Bring your arms out from your shoulders. And we're going to take our legs over to the right as we inhale, anchoring our left shoulder. And use your exhale to lift back to the top. And then take your legs over to the left, anchoring your right shoulder. And exhale back to the top. So it's called tick-tock. We're going side to side. Inhale, exhale back. Inhale to the side. And then when you come to the top, you might like to straighten your legs. You might not, but if you want to straighten the legs, keep going. Take them to the side. Exhale back. Feel that hip lift off the ground. And then come back. And then whether your legs are bent or straight, whatever they are, we'll take that into a little circle. So you go to one side, whatever side you're on, take the legs away from you a bit to the other side and back to the top. And then reverse, so alternating our circles, circle down, around, and back. And breathe. Little baby corkscrew, right? So we're just taking a circle away, over, and back to the top, way, over, and back to the top. Drawing a little circle with your sacrum on the mat, or pressing a little circle. Good, last one. And then when you come to the top, hug your knees, relax your body. And then we're gonna, if you're able to rock on your back or roll on your back, right? You can just do a little rocking motion if this is okay for your spine. You do a little rock and roll and just kind of massage the back until we come up to our sitting position. Right. And then go ahead and extend the legs out in front, and we'll lift our sits bones here. Bring our pelvis forward and just kind of take a stretch over your legs. So right, and then we're going to come up and create that diamond with our legs, or like a long-legged butterfly, right? So your feet are together out and a ways away from your body. Good. And then go ahead and stretch forward over the legs. Let your body relax forward here. Whatever amount of releasing you can do of your hips and legs so they can relax in this position. And then we'll walk ourselves up. And with our sits bones rooted, just turn to one leg. Just kind of stretch over that toward that side. So bring our head toward that knee, right? Keeping your sits bones on the ground. Let's stretch through our right side a little bit, or whatever side's on the front side. I'm on my left knee. And then come up and turn to torso over to the other leg. Root the sits bones. Walk it out. Head toward knee. And then we'll come back up sitting and go ahead and leave your legs in this position for a while. We're going to bring our arms forward and let your arms be soft, almost like you're hugging a big tree. Not completely rounded, but soft, right? Like a big tree's there and you're kind of hugging it. Yeah. And what we'll do here is lift our spine tall and then lifting your arms up, but focusing more on lifting the spine than the arms, right? We're going to lift tall here. Good. And then bring the arms back forward. And again, lift the spine tall, lift the arms up, and then take a turn to the left. And then just let your arms open out a bit. Kind of opening to that side. And then lift the arms back up and bring it center and forward. So just do that a couple more times. So we're going to inhale, lift tall, exhale, rotate to the right, open the arms out, and float out, lift back up, and bring it center, arms forward. Okay, two more. Inhale, lift tall, exhale, turn to the left, open, lift back up, and come forward, and arms come in front. One more. Lift the spine, rotate to the right, open. Good. Lift. Come back to center, arms forward. Great. And then we're going to do some little bit of rolling back. You can shake out your arms if you want. But let's keep our legs open for a little bit, open the hips, and just bring your arms forward. And you can keep that sort of rounded or soft arms. Inhale, tall. Exhale, curl the tailbone under and just going back to about the halfway point. Okay, and then when you get there, lift your arms up. Bring them forward and exhale up. Good. Inhale, tall. Exhale, curl tailbone under, round back. Good. Lift the arms. However high they go, reach forward and come up. One more. Nice deep breath. Shoulders relaxed, round back. Good. Lift up. Reach forward and come up. Good. When you get here, stretch forward over your legs one more time, just coming forward over the legs. And come to sitting. And then we're going to bring our arms forward with our palms facing up. You're going to reach your thumbs back as you inhale, squeezing the shoulder blades together a little bit. And then on our exhale, we bring our arms forward, lift our knees, palms facing, and round back. If you can go all the way back, great. You don't have to. Go into that roll up. Inhale, exhale, roll back up. Open the knees. And then palms face up. Again, we're going to take our arms back and kind of squeeze the shoulder blades. Reach forward as we lift our knees and exhale back. So kind of doing a little hip opening shoulder with our roll up, right? Inhale, exhale, roll back up. And palms face up. Lift your heart, reach your arms back, and then bring them forward and round back. Deep breath. Open the knees, palms up as you come up. Squeeze as you lift the heart and the arms forward, round back. This is our last one. So take your time, and then if you can, go all the way back. Nice deep breath. Roll back up, and when you come to the top, just stretch forward. Then we'll come into with our legs straight out in front of us. I'm going to move my mat a little bit because it walks. And we're going to roll onto our back, take our arms over our head. So, arms together, legs together. See if you can roll your whole body onto your side without using your legs and feet to help you. So one big log. So we're a nice straight line, and then just take your top arm to the ceiling. Keep those legs tight together, nice and straight. Try to be as straight as you can in your body, and then circle. Draw a big circle with this arm so that you're feeling yourself kind of going off balance and back on balance. So you're kind of challenging ourselves. See how big we can do it, right? So you feel a little bit of a challenge to pull ourselves off balance, but we don't have so far to fall, so it doesn't matter. Okay, and then reverse your circle, nice and big. You're not going to fall, so you can really play with it. And then bringing the arm straight to the ceiling. Now let's see if we can bring it forward and lift. Forward and lift without feeling yourself going off and on, back onto balance. But really let yourself move around and feel that, like coming out of balance and then back on. Feeling your little stabilizing muscles, basically, right? Good. And then with our arm up here, we're going to lift our top leg and then see if we can circle your leg. See how big your leg can circle without letting your bottom leg bend. It's just staying nice and straight. Everything stays straight. Just feel that sort of stability challenge, right? So little stabilizing muscles work. How big can you go? And then reverse your circle. Yeah. I think you're unmuted, Glennis. All right, stop your circle and then go ahead and lower the leg, lower your arm, bring your hand in front of you. Actually, let's leave our arm up if we can, but if you need to put your hand down, you can. Let's leave it up, and we're going to kick our leg forward. So you can let your bottom leg bend a little bit, and you're going to kick forward and stretch back, right? You probably want to bend your bottom leg a little bit if your arm is up, because it'll be really hard if it isn't. So reach, nice big kick, inhale and exhale. But if you need to put your top hand on the ground, that's okay. Good. Just see if you can also feel yourself kind of going off and on balance, right? Because you're challenging yourself if you have your arm up with the kicks. And then keep your leg back, reach your arm forward, and stretch. And then we're going to lift our arm, lift our leg up, take them the other way. So the leg goes forward, the arm goes back, and twist. And then again, lifting arm and leg and switch and reach. We're doing this little twisting motion, lift up and switch. And again, lift up and switch. Good. And then let your legs come together, relax your arm on the ground. Go ahead and press yourself up to your elbow. And we'll bring elbow under our shoulder. Legs can be stacked or your top leg can be straight if you prefer. So pressing arm into the ground, we're going to lift our ribs, lift our arm, lift our hips up. Good. And then inhale as we exhale, round through like you're hugging a ball. And then lifting on your inhale, round through that arm, that bottom arm. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. And this time we lift up, let our hips come down, arm come down, come up to sitting in mermaid or just bent knees or whatever way works for you to take a side stretch. So kind of, and you can always let your arm bend. It doesn't have to be straight, right? Just whatever's comfortable for you. A little side stretch. And then we'll bring our leg that we just worked into a stretch. So you can cross, you might like to stack your knees or do a figure four, whatever works for you to stretch your hip. Right? Find what works for you. Every day is different. Sometimes it works that way, sometimes it doesn't. And as long as you're getting a hip stretch. In the seated figure four or lying down. Okay, so we'll bring ourselves out from the stretch and come around to come onto our back. So for the other side, we're going to roll onto our back and bring our arms over our head. Oh, glue the legs and arms together. So keep them tight and roll onto your other side. You have clothes that need to be adjusted. Okay, so trying to make ourselves in a straight line. Take your top arm up and then see how big you can circle on this side without helping yourself. Right, just let yourself kind of go off and on, balance. You can vary the speed, you can vary the size, just kind of play with it. Feel some challenge. And then reversing our circle. Really have a nice straight body, a straight line, that's the key. And then taking our arm up, we'll play around with bringing it forward and up kind of quickly, right? So kind of bring it forward and lift it back up. Yourself pull forward and come back. Just notice what's going on when you do that. And then we'll leave our arm up, bring our leg into the picture. So the leg's up and we're going to circle that leg. However big we can circle it. Don't bend your bottom leg. Doesn't pay to cheat in this situation. And then we'll reverse that circle. Nice to see how big we can make it. And this on this side. Feeling those little muscles that are kicking in to stabilize us. Right, and then we'll stop and let that leg relax down and see if you can keep your arm up. You might bend your bottom leg slightly here. We're going to kick forward and reach back. So kick, leg kicks big as we can, feeling that stretch in the back, in the front of the leg. And then next time that leg goes back, reach your arm forward away from your leg to stretch, side stretch. Then lifting our arm and leg up, we're going to switch, take the arm back, leg forward. And then lifting the arm and leg up to switch again. So, and lifting up to switch, arm back, leg forward. And lifting up and reaching forward. And then go ahead and bring your legs together. Let them relax, hand underneath on the floor. Bring your elbow underneath the shoulder. So we have direct line from shoulder to elbow pretty much. Let your top leg can be bent or straight. So we're going to lift that rib cage, lift the arm, lift the hips up, or if the hips don't lift, that's okay too. And we're going to round through. So hips can be on the ground if they need to be. So inhale, reach up, exhale, round like you're hugging a ball. Kind of stretch that shoulder. Lift, exhale, reach. Nice deep breath. One more. And then we lift up, lower the hips, arm comes down, and we come up to mermaid or a position you can manage that might be like mermaid. Take a stretch with that arm up or bent. Feel a side stretch here. Sometimes we might need to bend our arm because of our shoulder, so that doesn't matter, right? We can just do whatever we need to do for that. And we'll go ahead and do it, explore a little hip stretch too. Crossing the leg over. Or pretzel. And you might also like to move your head around or your shoulders or something while you're stretching your hip, right? If that feels good to you. Okay, and we'll bring ourselves out from there and come around to your all fours. And yeah. And to start with, let's widen our fingers apart and just take your, find your neutral spine. In all fours, it's a little trickier, but feel like your spine is a neutral. And take your hips over to the left and just look over your left shoulder. And then center yourself and take your hips over to the right. Look over your right shoulder. It's a side bend, right? To the side and back. And then we're going to take our hips to the left again. Look over our left shoulder. Lift your tailbone. Look forward. Look over your right shoulder as your hips go to the right. And then curl your tailbone under. Let your head drop. And then take your hips over to the left and look over your left shoulder. And then look up as you lift your tailbone Take your hips to the right, look over your right shoulder. Curl tailbone under, let the head drop. So we're doing this big circle. Take the hips to the left and lift up. Take the hips to the right and curl under. Nice and big. And then we're going to reverse that circle. So maybe you're looking forward and then you go the other direction. Curl under, look to the right and lift. Under. Yeah. So the head's going opposite to the ribs. Hips are going opposite to the ribs. Circling. And then we'll come to center. And then curl the tailbone under, press your hips back toward your heels a little bit. Draw your back up and then go into extension. You might need to widen your stance a little bit between your hands and your knees. So we're going to press up into extension, straightening the legs, and then come back. You need to have your hands a little farther away. And then round and press the hips back. And lift yourself back up and come into extension. Looking forward. And one more time, bring it back to neutral, curl tailbone, round back, lift up, and straightening the legs to come into extension. See if you can just stay here. Just look over your left shoulder. And back and look over your right shoulder. And back and lift up onto the knees and curl the tailbone, stretch back to your heels for a moment. Reach your arms out, stretch forward. Yeah. And then we'll come back up to our knees and let's bring our left foot forward. So we're in a lunge. Now you might be able to lift your back leg up off the ground. If you want to, that's an option. Or you can keep it on the ground, just making sure our legs are lined up with our hips. One hand on either side of our foot and look forward. So we feel that stretch. Just finding your lunge. You can rock in and out of it. You don't have to just come into it. You can kind of rock back and forth and just kind of find a lunge here that feels good to you. And again, your leg could be up or down. And then we're going to, with our right hand on the mat, we're going to take hold of our left knee with our left hand. Pull it in so you can twist yourself to the left. And then see if you can extend that arm up, right? So you can kind of look up a little bit, feel even more stretch in your right hip flexors. And then come back around to face forward, bring both hands inside your foot. Maybe just get a little bit deeper into that lunge. Everybody's going to be different. So just do whatever feels good to you and feels right for your body. So. And then go ahead and bring yourself back up around to bring your knee underneath, your left knee underneath, and bring the right foot forward. So we have maybe your left leg extended up or maybe on the mat, but just whatever feels right for you. One hand on either side of your foot. And again, you might also rock in and out of your lunge. Just do whatever you need to do. What feels good to you on this side. It's a hip flexor stretch, right? So 3 deep hip flexor stretch. Good. And then we're going to, with our left hand down, going to hug our right knee in, the right hand, so you can twist to the right and see if you can extend that arm up looking to the right. Yeah. And then coming back to face forward, both hands inside of your foot. You might turn your toes out slightly, maybe deepen a little bit more. Really want to make sure your back leg's on the mat by now. Deepen a little more into that lunge. And then bringing your hand back around or whatever you need to do to bring your knee back under you. So you can come back to your knees. And then we'll bring ourselves onto our bellies. So just coming on into Sphinx with your elbows under the shoulders. Feel pretty stretched out down there by now, I think. So we want to really press our arms into the mat and feel your hips really pressing into the mat. And then we'll just do a couple kicks, each leg alternating. So kick, kick, and extend. Kick and extend. Inhale and exhale. Kick and extend. So when you're even on both sides, you can let your legs relax. And then we'll put our hands face down and slowly straightening our arms, adjusting our hands as needed. So that kind of baby swan or baby cobra pose. You feel free to have your hands as far away from your body as you need to. And then lift your left leg. And relax it. And then lift your right leg. It's not going to lift very high, but just lift, hold, and relax. Now lift both legs. You're going to keep them up. Let your elbows bend, and then straighten them. Press up. So keeping our legs lifted up, just going to do a little rock on our belly. So let the elbows bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and press up. And breathe. Feel your backside muscles very engaged. All right, and then relax your legs. When you press up, relax your legs. Let your arms slide out overhead as wide as they want to be, right? Whatever that is. And then we're going to reach arms and legs away from our center. We're going to float up off the ground. So you kind of just like you're flying. And then take your arms, point your palms toward your feet. Reach your arms back, draw the shoulders back, lift up into dart or locust pose, right? So we're lifting, reaching, hold up there, just floating off the ground. Take a little relax down, take a moment to let your body rest. And then again, we're going to lift head and chest, look forward, reach back, pull the shoulders back, lift, lift, lift. Good. And then take your arms back out from your shoulders, back over into your V, pull your elbows in toward your waist, and you're still hovering. Hands underneath the shoulders, somewhere, elbows in, hover, hover. Got to keep hovering because that's what our spine needs to strengthen. All right, lower down, relax. And then just do a little swan cobra. So lengthening out and up, pressing into the ground. Maybe your arms straighten, maybe they don't. And lower back down. And again, lengthen out and up, press up. And this time, we'll keep going all the way up to our knees. And we'll take a little stretch back to our heels. You might like your knees apart. Whatever feels good to you. All right, and then coming up to sitting. I'm going to bring our knees bent, hands behind your thighs. Give your shoulders a little shake out. Your head a little movement. Okay, we're going to inhale. As we exhale, we're going to curl the tailbone and round back till our arms are straight. Feel that little stretch in your back, and then lift one knee up. And lift the other knee up. Right? So it's kind of like boat pose in yoga, but it's teaser in Pilates. And then we're going to reach our arms, and we're going to try to flatten our back more. And then we're going to maybe straighten your legs if that feels like doable to you. You don't have to, right? But just coming into this position. Good. And then see if you can slowly roll onto your back, keeping your legs up. Let the knees bend. Take your arms over your head. Good. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the head and shoulders. Use your hands if you want to help you up, or just stretch your legs and roll up. Teaser. Again, try to get the back as flat as possible or the legs straight, whatever feels good to you, whatever is doable. And then one more time, we're going to slowly roll down and let our knees bend and come in. Arms over the head. Nice deep breath as we lift our arms, lift our head and shoulders. One more time, reach, roll up. Find that teaser position, that balance. And then let your knees bend, let your feet come down, hug your knees in or just hold on to them. You might want to just give your legs a hug and round over them. We'll come to, I have to throw a teaser in there, you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna come to sitting with your legs in a straddle if you can, but you can also do like a diamond or something different. Sit on something, whatever. Bend your knees, whatever works for you. Arms out from your shoulders. I got to move myself forward, sorry. Okay, so just lifting tall as we inhale. We're going to rotate on our exhale. Take our back hand behind us. Let it bend as we reach back and take that arch back. And then come around. And then rotate to the other side. Back hand comes down, elbow bends as we reach back. Yeah, stretch back and come up. Good. And again, rotate, stretch back. And up. Rotate, stretch back. You can even come all the way to your elbow. Really stretch that arm back. And then we'll do a couple to the front. So rotate, reach for your foot. And lift up. And rotate and reach across. You might grab your foot and pull yourself if that's doable for you. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and should feel a nice stretch in your shoulder, right? Just go until you're even on both sides. So keep going if you want. And when you come up to the top, just let your arms relax and give your shoulders a little round circling and your head a little circling. Good. Thank you all for coming. And looks like almost everybody stayed this time.